to start your day. So if you could kindly move to your seats, that would be greatly appreciated. We're going to start in just a few moments here. Good morning. Good morning. For those of you just walking in, welcome. You haven't missed anything. We are just getting settled this morning. We want to say thank you to so many of you who decided to kick your day off with the Little Red Door Cancer Agency. So if you could move to your seats. And if I could have your attention, that would be great. Thank you so very much. If there are people still coming in who are coming to your table, if you could just move to the side if there are any extra seats. There are hosts in the back and some people toward the front if you need any extra seating where you are. I see another group coming in. Come on in. I want to take this opportunity, if I could have your attention. That always seems to work. I love that. Well, I want to, first of all, we've all heard the saying, the early bird catches the worm. Well, this morning, you guys are catching the worm because we have a fabulous program planned for you, and we're going to get you a good protein, a little bit of carb, a little bit of sweet breakfast to get you off on your day, hopefully on a very good, positive note. I want to say, first of all, good morning. Thank you for being here. I'm Fanchen Stinger, your evening anchor at Fox 59 News. Hopefully, I was the last face you saw before you went to bed last night during our 10 o'clock newscast. If not, I know I'll be the last face you see tonight during our 10 o'clock newscast. So please join us at Fox 59. We'd love to have you as one of our loyal viewers. At this point, I want to take the opportunity just to first of all say thank you for getting up early this morning, for coming out, and for being here. Just the significance of your presence here this morning is so valuable to our community. As you know, it takes us working together in concert as a community to make a difference in people's lives, to improve situations that we see, but most importantly for the Little Red Door Cancer Agency, it takes all of us working together to make sure that we make a difference, not only in the lives of people who are diagnosed with cancer, but in all of our lives, because most of us know someone or know someone who knows someone whose life has been touched by cancer. We're going to talk a little bit later about how each and every one of us can get involved in being a part, whether it's monetarily, whether it's donating our time, or whether it's being part of a special study that we just kicked off here at the Little Red Door Cancer Agency. Actually, we talked about it on our newscast yesterday, so we're going to give you some more information on that as we proceed through the morning. But I will be your host for this morning. I'm so excited to be here. You're going to hear so much about the amazing work that's being done right now. How many people, this is your first opportunity to attend a fundraiser or attend an event with the Little Red Door Cancer Agency? Can I just see your hands? Wow. Let's give these people a round of applause for being here. The reason I wanted to get an idea of how many of you this is your first opportunity to touch this agency is because hopefully after today, you're going to not only see, but you're going to feel the energy and the excitement and the importance of what the work is that's being done in our community through this incredible agency. And I can tell you, Fox 59 is so proud to partner with this agency and to be a part of what is being done and what is happening in our community. So right now, I want you to continue having your breakfast. Your breakfast should be in front of you. Enjoy the fellowship with the people at your table right now. And I'm going to get back up in about 15 minutes, and we're going to kick things off. So enjoy your breakfast. Bon appetit. If I can have your attention once more. Thank you so much. We are going to continue with our program right now. Just one housekeeping thing. I don't know if everyone heard the announcement a few moments ago. There are 4 cars parked in the driveway that need to be moved. Otherwise, you may be visiting the tow yard later. So if you parked in the driveway, there are 4 vehicles that they are asking to be moved. So thank you for your attention to that. I hope that you have had the opportunity, those of you who are with us for the first time this year, to learn a little bit more about the Little Red Door Cancer Agency from the people at your table. You're going to hear a lot more about what the agency is doing and the impact the agency is having in the lives of so many people as we proceed through this morning's program. But I can promise you one thing, when you walk out of here this morning, you are going to be inspired, you're going to be excited, and hopefully you will have found a place where you can get involved and contribute part of your time or resources. Before we continue, though, at this point, I'd like to recognize our sponsors. Of course, you know, without sponsors, without people who care and are willing to donate their resources, an event like this would never be possible. So we want to say thank you to Wayne Zink, to Lilly, to Fifth Third Bank, to ETC ProLiance Energy, to Ice Miller, Hoover Hall, and Exact Target. Let's give those sponsors a big round of applause and thank you. I would also at this time like to show a special appreciation to the men and women who are serving as our table captains this morning. If our table captains could please stand so we can see who you are. We want to say thank you so much to our table captains. You might be wondering, what is the significance of a table captain? Well, our table captains play a very special role. They actually are the key to the overall success of the agencies, and we are always looking for more people who are interested in serving in this capacity. So if you would like to become a part of this elite group, please see one of the Little Red Door staff members as you're leaving today, or you can check the box on your form that you'll receive a little bit later this morning to get more information about what those responsibilities and duties are. Additionally, I would like to welcome and thank the following distinguished guests who are with us this morning. So as I call your name, if you could please stand and be recognized. Representative John Bartlett, Indiana State Representative of District 65. Jenny Kane, Senator Dan Coates' Regional Director, welcome this morning. Dwayne Sawyer, Indiana State Auditor. Dwayne, if you could stand. Connie Larson, Indiana Secretary of State. Thank you for serving our community. Haj Patel, he is from the Office of Senator Donnelly. Haj, thank you for joining us this morning. Jarnell Burks Craig, representative from the Office of Representative Carson. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And Andy King from the Office of Representative Brooks. Andy, thank you for joining us this morning. Finally, and most importantly, I would like to recognize all of you and thank all of you for being here this morning to learn a little bit more about Little Red Door and our breakfast. We cannot go on without saying thank you to the staff, the wonderful staff here at the State Fairgrounds who prepared and presented this marvelous breakfast. The presentation is absolutely exquisite. So let's give a round of applause for the Indiana State Fairgrounds for serving us this morning. We want to say thank you. As I said, we do have a delightful program for you this morning to kick off your day. You're going to be hearing from a lot of people that Little Red Door helps each and every day. You're also going to learn a lot more about Little Red Door's vital work within our community. A lot of the work you probably don't even realize is going on, but once you see it, you're going to be absolutely amazed. To help connect you with the mission and the work and also how you might be involved. So right now, I would like to bring up the man behind a lot of the energy that you're feeling here this morning, because he has a lot of energy himself. CEO of Little Red Door, Fred Duncan. Fred, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Eric always slips some very complimentary thing about me into her remarks that I'm not sure are there. So that's probably a good number two, right? That he's always making the guy in charge feel more important than he might be. So thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. Thank you to all of you for coming this morning. You know, this is, believe it or not, the 5th time that I've had the privilege of getting to stand before this group and talk about the Little Red Door and the work that we do in the Indianapolis community. When we started on this journey 5 years ago, we had 25 tables. This morning, there are 93 tables here this morning. And every year, I am humbled and inspired that so many of you are so willing to help us as we continue to do our work. And I know there have been a lot of thank yous this morning, but there's one particular group that really helps us not just be successful in this event, but helps us be successful overall. You know, lots of you have heard the stats that we've doubled the number of people that we've served in the last 5 years, that we've increased our budget by about 50% in the last 4 years. And much of that credit goes to our board of directors. So I want to take just a second and ask our current board of directors, don't applaud yet, our current board of directors, so wonderfully led by Sean Porkin, to stand up. So I know you're out there. I can see all of you make eye contact with you. And yes, I'm going to make you stand. Now, wait, hang on, because I want our former board members, because there are a bunch of you in the room too, to stand up as well. So can I have our former board members stand also to join this group? Because it's really a long arc effort that we've gone through in getting to this place. So I hope that each of you knows how much I appreciate your hard work, your dedication, and how really delighted I am to get to spend time with you. So thank you very much. There's a lot of talk right now in the nonprofit sector about outcomes. I hear it all the time, outcomes, that we should be outcomes driven. And I would completely agree with that statement. So if I think about what kind of outcome we're looking for when we talk about the Little Red Doors work, I suppose we're talking about survivorship. Our goal, if we think of it in that way, is to reduce the incidence rate of cancer, to improve people's chances of getting through cancer and becoming a survivor, and to reduce the reoccurrence rate. And those of you who know us well know that we are obsessed with data. We are obsessed with data. We track everything. We know how many trips we made. We know where people are going. We know how much it's going to cost us when any person enters that program. We know what the best way is to take them. Do they need a gas card, a cab voucher? Do they need an ambulance ride? What do they need? And through the tracking of that data, we've been able to go from 4,000 trips 4 years ago to almost 10,000 trips this year. When we screen people, almost 2,800 people this year, we know exactly where to send them. We know where we get the best value for our dollar. We know where they are in the process. We know when they need to be followed up with, and we know how to move them on to the next step. We're really working on the outcome of survivorship. But you know, we work on another outcome at the Little Red Door that currently I hear my peers be a little bit beaten down about. The most important outcome that we work on at Little Red Door is the charitable act of kindness. I hear my peers say their donors don't want to hear about charity. They only want to hear about outcomes. And you know what I know? I know that those folks never met any of you, because I've never had any of you say to me that you want us to work on something besides making a person's journey better. 50% of the people who are diagnosed with cancer this year will not survive 5 years. Cancer is still a disease that carries an enormously high mortality rate. Depending upon the cancer type, your odds are even worse. We don't send a kid with cancer to camp because we think it's going to improve their outcome for survivorship. There are studies that suggest that it might, but that's not why we send a kid with cancer to camp. We send a kid with cancer to camp to have a great experience. So they say to us, I look forward to camp 51 weeks of the year. It's my second Christmas. It's the only place I go where people don't make fun of me. We don't put a woman in the boutique and give her a wig because we really think it's going to increase her outcomes for survivorship. We do it because it makes her feel better. And she leaves our office standing a little taller and with a bigger smile on her face. It's the same thing with breast forms. It's the same thing with the bras we distribute. It's really and truly much of what we do in the navigation program. Yes, we fielded almost 50,000 calls last year trying to arrange things for our clients that are out there. But if you ask our clients what the most important thing they got from that interaction for us, they're going to tell you it was a friendly voice, to listen to them, to be sympathetic to them, and to help them through their journey. The charitable act of human kindness. We should not ever back up from the notion that it's okay for us to help our friends and neighbors who are in a bad spot get through and make their lives more comfortable. This little piece of wisdom was kind of brought back to me in an odd way. You know, sometimes you get wisdom and inspiration from very odd places. And a few months ago, I was flipping through the TV channels and I ran across the old movie, A Streetcar Named Desire. And for you film buffs in the room, it was the 1984 Anne Margaret version, not the 1951 Vivien Leigh version. But at the end of Tennessee Williams' great play, as Blanche is being taken away, she looks up at the doctor and says, "I have always depended upon the kindness of strangers." What a really powerful thought. When people call our agency for help, they're calling a stranger. Our program team doesn't remain strangers very long. They become friends and colleagues and almost family members. But I will almost always be a stranger to the people who call our agency. And so will you. We together are the strangers upon whom the people who call us depend upon for kindness. And the thing that I am the most grateful for this morning is that I have you as my friends in this journey, and that you are willing to invest with me your time and your energy and your kindness in helping a person who is in need. If you're a waitress making $24,000 a year with 2 kids and suddenly you're diagnosed with cancer, you're in a really tough spot, and you need someone to extend their hand in kindness. That's what we do at the agency. In many ways, that's more important than taking folks to treatment to get them to survivorship. It is to improve their journey. You're about to hear from several of our clients, both past and present, whom I think will tell this story very eloquently. But I do want to leave you with that idea, and I do want to leave you with saying thank you. Thank you that when my colleagues say to me, my donors only want to hear about what problem I've identified and solved, I think, that's not my folks. My folks want me to help people. They want me to get them to survivorship if we can, but they want us to be kind to them and make their journey better if that's the only thing that we can do for them. So thank you very much for coming this morning. Thank you very much for being that person, and thank you for being my friend. I am grateful to you.
Thank you so much, Fred. I trust that you can see why. From the moment you meet Fred, you can feel his energy. I had a chance to speak with him here a bit before I came up to start the program, and immediately you just get excited. And that is the testament to a true leader and to the team that he has put together, and the reason why Little Red Door Cancer Agency is getting the results and seeing the movement that it is. Last year, I asked one of the organizers this morning, last year, what was the amount that you raised, and what is the goal for this year? Well, last year it was $200,000, which is incredible. This is the largest event for Little Red Door Cancer Agency. And I said, what's the goal for this year? $300,000. And I think that once you walk out of here this morning, you're going to see why that is not going to be a problem. $300,000. For 68 years, this agency has worked tirelessly to help those in need. And over the next several minutes, we want you to take a journey with us this morning. We're going to give you a real glimpse into the work that the Little Red Door Agency does each and every day. After the videos that you see this morning and the people you're about to hear from, you're going to see why this agency is such a critical part of our community. Now, there are 4 screens strategically placed throughout the room, so those are the screens you're going to watch as we move forward the remainder of the program. So let's start right now by stepping into the day, a typical day at the Little Red Door Cancer Agency. Check out your screens.
to be able to do something that will benefit somebody else is so much more rewarding to me. I get a bigger benefit, I guess.
Well, I came here because November the 18th of 2013, I'll be a one-year cancer survivor. I had breast cancer. They helped me a lot. They made sure I got to all my radiation treatments and yellow cab and everything.
Seeing the smiles on their faces and knowing that they are survivors and they continue their lives every day, it's pretty awesome to see.
What they do in the community, helping people that normally wouldn't have access to some of the resources that you need when you're going through cancer. I just see that as a very important thing that they do for our community.
It was interesting to come down here, and well, the food that they did was good. The healthcare reform, information was really good and helpful.
Little Red Door been helping my mom for a year now. She's cancer free. This October the 1st just came. She's been cancer free for a whole year.
Well, I think that the Little Red Door and their passion for just helping everyone, maybe people who are not just underinsured or uninsured, but maybe some people who are uninformed as well as far as their health and how to keep themselves healthy. They have a passion for bringing those people in and giving them information. You got a dance that you do in your bedroom when no one's looking, and it's a song on the radio you like, whatever that dance is, that with the hairbrush, do that.
I just love it. It's an awesome organization. I haven't found any organization any better than the Little Red Door because they take care of all your needs.
You can depend on Little Red Door because they always will be there for you anytime.
Awesome. You can really see how and where Little Red Door touches people at so many critical points along their journey. Little Red Door actually hosts 4 open houses every single year for clients, for their caregivers, and people and their families. And these great events will continue in the year 2014, thanks to so much of your support. I now have the pleasure of welcoming one of the individuals Little Red Door helps each and every day. So right now, please join me in welcoming to the stage John Sturchey.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to help support this brilliant and unbelievable organization. My name is John Sturkey. Just kidding. Since Thanksgiving's coming around, remember it, turkey with an S in front of it. Okay. I've had cancer 3 times so far in my life. Let's hope third is it. In 3 different cities, and I've never experienced anything like the Little Red Door. The word cancer again. Cancer, the word itself makes me cringe. It makes me cry. It makes me enraged. I'm sure you have some of those same feelings because I can guarantee you that there's nobody in this room that hasn't had it, or somebody in their family or somebody in their tightest circle of friends has not experienced it. It's like a full-time job that there's never enough hours in the day to take care of everything that you have to do in that full-time job called cancer. The insurance, that's a joy in itself. All the medical things that you have to do, the supplies that you have to get, the medications, picking up your prescriptions, all those little bitty things that would seem insignificant, but when you put them together, it makes a pretty big list. If you've ever had a port, you have to deal with that. If you've ever had a feeding tube, which I had during my first time of cancer, I noticed we had some people on the video that were getting fitted for wigs. I'm still waiting. Lachelle, get on that. Okay. Just kidding, but all that stuff, the schedules, the appointments, the worries about your next scan, the worries about your results from your previous scan, X-ray, the blast of lovely radiation going into your body, and the poison of chemotherapy. It can damage the body physically, but it cannot destroy hope. Cancer cannot destroy love or faith or keep us from holding on even when we're scared and when we feel helpless. And it doesn't kill the human spirit, nor does it keep us from hoping, believing, and praying, and it can't keep us from fighting back, nor can it stop us from wanting to fight for each and every day. Cancer has, as I said before, affected all of our lives. And, we're staring at the countless medical bills and fighting with the insurance companies. And then there's the emotional part. Cancer is very emotionally draining, but we try to stay positive, and sometimes it feels like a nightmare that we can't wake up from, and sometimes we know that it is very real, and this isn't any nightmare, and we're not going to wake up anytime soon. And I've learned the importance personally myself of leaning towards God through this long and painful ordeal, and leaning on the little red door. And excuse me for a second there. So a little bit about my personal story. I've been living in Indy since April. I am homeless. I have no job, I have no money, I have no resources, and not a whole lot of friends here. So to a person in that situation, the word cancer is, 10, 20, 30 times more frightening and worrisome. I know you all have been the person before that has done some of the shuffling or been shuffled and chauffeured around by a loved one or by a friend. And you know how important that is, and sometimes it can feel like it's not that high on the priority list until you're scrambling for a ride because somebody, I can't pick you up that day, my kids are sick, or they've got their own personal lives and issues to deal with while they're trying to help you out as well. And you can't get to the doctor, and you can't get to your chemo or your radiation treatment, and you can't get where you need to go, and that's where the little red door steps in and comes to the rescue. Indianapolis and a heck of a lot more cities need organizations like the Little Red Door. The Little Red Door needs your support and your donations now more than ever, so they can continue the good work that they do by making it easier for those fighting and suffering through cancer. So let's just rewind a couple of quick months to the time where I had my first CT and PET scans, or not my first, my third one, which was just this July. I'd been just finishing having a bronchoscopy, and I'm trying to come out of the haziness of that, and the doctor said that, yeah, you're positive again, and you have cancer. And I said, oh, good, again, I'm a magnet for cancer. It's like that person that goes somewhere and the little dog or the little cat, always goes to the person that hates it the most and, bothers them. Well, cancer keeps bothering me. I think I have a cancer magnet. But if you don't keep your sense of humor, what have you got, right? And then you wonder about what's it going to be like. Am I going to be rushed into surgery? Am I going to have chemo and radiation, a combination of the two? It's been a lot of different things going through my mind emotionally, bad memories, what I would have to deal with again. And then, of course, there's the big questions. How big is the tumor? Is it a new cancer? Is it an old one coming back? What stage is it? And, of course, the plan for treatment, chemo and radiation, or a little bit of everything. So while my head's spinning and my emotions are reeling, I begin to think of the logistics. Where's all this going to take? I'm living in a men's shelter at Wheeler Mission, thank God for them. And I'm just about to start a new phase of my program, so how is this going to affect and collaborate with my program at the shelter? And of course, the big one, logistically, how am I going to get there every day? None of the guys I'm living with, they're in the same situation. They don't have money, they don't have cars. My case managers don't have the time to get me to the hospital and back every day for 7 weeks, 5 times a day. You do the math on that one. Bus looks like a strong alternative, but it's costly, and there's days when you don't feel like getting out of bed, let alone walking to the bus stop. And out of those 10,000 rides that Fred mentioned, I counted somewhere over 100 cab rides that I took. And I'm still taking. I took one yesterday to see my radiation oncologist. So the Little Red Door does a lot to ease your peace of mind. It's one less thing on your plate that you have to worry about. There's no out-of-pocket cost for the client. It's door-to-door service. I call them those yellow cab drivers are my chauffeurs, and I'm very special rich man. I got a ride to the hospital today, excuse me. Dispatchers who now call me by name and know I'm going to the Simon Cancer Center, I'm going to the Regan Street building. Even the days when I forgot to call the cab and I'm standing there for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, where is the cab? Oh, John, you forgot to call and reserve it. So call it up, reserve it, get it, they're there in 5 minutes. So the kindness and the assistance of the Little Red Door, and thanks to them, I'm moving forward. Future scans, and the big cab driver upstairs is going to figure out what my path will be, but let's hear it one big time for all the drivers and everybody who works at Yellow Cab, and especially everybody who works at the Little Red Door, and many hands make light work, and especially to you people, it's donors and supporters and all of you future donors and supporters that are going to join that list today. Let's have a big round of applause for all of those people. Thanks, and I'm just going to take 30 more seconds to close with a poem that many of you heard before and may have seen or read before. The author is unknown, but it does bear repeating. What cancer cannot do. Cancer is so limited. It cannot cripple love. It cannot shatter hope. It cannot corrode faith. It cannot eat away peace. It cannot destroy confidence. It cannot kill friendships. It cannot shut out memories. It can't silence courage. It can't reduce eternal life. And it cannot quench the spirit. So let's remember those words as we continue to support the Little Red Door and all it does to help people like me and the thousands that it's helped over the years. Thank you very much.
John, thank you. Thank you for setting me straight, too, on your name. I appreciate that. You know, just listening to John speak, I was just thinking, cancer may have taken his health through those 3 stages, but cancer definitely has not taken his spirit and has not taken away his faith. And John, I want you to know that you may not be with a home right now. You may not be with a job right now, but you do have your faith, and you express that. And that situation is temporary. God can make a way out of no way. But you are not friendless. You have friends. You have a room full of friends right here. People who love you, people who care for you. We're all going to be pulling for you and praying for you. So continue to fight the fight. Thank you for sharing. Right now, we want to share with you a little bit more about what John kind of gave us a glimpse of in terms of his trips every day, his transportation every day, getting to the appointments and to the doctors that he needs so desperately. So if you will right now, turn your attention to one of the monitors in front of you as we take a look at some of the other services that Little Red Door provides.
I use Little Red Door for transportation, and without them, I would be completely lost. Hi, my name is Jerry Rose. It was breast cancer, and I had 23 radiation treatments, and they provided all the rides for that. And then it was my lung, and I had 3 more radiation treatments, and that was provided by Little Red Door. Now that I'm connected, I'll be connected forever, I think. Jeff is a wonderful young man, and he's my cab driver. I don't know what I'd do without him, because that boy comes to meet me at my door every time he comes and gets me, walks me down the ramp, puts me in the cab in the front seat. He treats me like a queen, and he's just wonderful. I wouldn't trade Jeff for not $2 billion. Wouldn't help.
I met Jerry about a year ago when she first started her treatments. I met her on her second or third trip, and we live fairly close to one another. So I offered to do her regular transportation for her, and during the course of that, we've become friends.
One of the services that we provide for our clients is our transportation service, which is really a big, important resource that we're able to offer. It's just really important to us to make sure we get that client to that chemo radiation, because that's an important part of their treatment. It's just so good that she's got Jeffrey, making sure she's okay and getting her to her treatments and just being a friend and helping her when she needs that time. Somebody to say it's okay, that you're going to be okay. So I enjoy that he's there for her for that.
Her Little Red Door is like having a backbone and an arm and a leg connected to you extra. I'm thankful for the Little Red Door.
To all of those cab drivers and volunteers who give us a little bit of themselves, wow, what a gift. Listen to this. Little Red Door will provide more than 10,000 trips to treatment this year alone. 10,000. That is simply an amazing number. And it is now my distinct pleasure and privilege to welcome another Little Red Door client to the stage right now. Tanya's story is one we trust you will never forget, much like John's. And we are thrilled that she is willing to even share her journey with us today. So let's give a very warm welcome to Tanya Trotter. Tanya, please come up to the podium. As Tanya comes to the podium, I just want to point out how courageous it is for so many of our guests today who are going to speak to get up here and to share so much about their story and so many things about their personal journeys. So, Tanya, come on up, take the stage. We can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Good morning.
It is an honor and a privilege to stand here before you and speak on my experience with the Little Red Door organization. I would like to share with you briefly my story. On September 27, 1978, I was born and given the name Tanya Yvette Trotter, but at the age of 33 years old, my name was changed forever. On August 2, 2012, I was now called Stage 2 triple-negative breast cancer. Within 10 weeks after my diagnosis, I became jobless, homeless, and without a vehicle, and began chemo treatment and lost all of my hair, my eyebrows, my eyelashes, and what felt like my mind. I ended up in Indianapolis with my parents because I was no longer able to care for my 2 children, ages 13 and 11. My journey moved quite quickly as I began more treatment rounds at IU Methodist at the end of October 2012. Exactly 1 year ago today, November 21st, 2012, the day before Thanksgiving, I underwent an extensive 7-hour surgery to have a mastectomy on my right breast and remove a 5-centimeter sized tumor plus 4 lymph nodes. My relationship with the Little Red Door began in mid-December 2012 when I received a pamphlet about resources from my oncologist. I was hesitant to call, mainly because my spirit was very low, but after speaking with the friendly staff member at the front desk, I was ultimately glad that I had made the call. My needs were very simple. I had no hair, 1 boob, and no idea how I would get back and forth to more chemo treatments and physical therapy on the other side of town. I met my angel on earth, Kona. I love you, Kona. A few days later, and my life was forever changed. She may not ever know this, but without her saying it, she told me that everything was going to be okay. Her upbeat, helpful attitude and professionalism was just what I had needed after such a hard ordeal. Within days, Kona was able to fit me for a wig and a prosthesis and begin vouchers for me to get to my physical therapy sessions. I was so impressed by this organization and how helpful they really were to me. As the new year began, I successfully completed chemo after a total of 26 weeks. I successfully completed 16 weeks of physical therapy and 5.5 weeks of radiation. July 6, 2013 will always be a great day for me, as this was the day I was declared cancer-free. Woohoo! Thank you. The Little Red Door organization will always be a part of my journey for the kindness and generosity that was shown to me. I have learned in life that people will be nice, but they don't have to be nice to me. It is refreshing to know that with the Little Red Door, I was not just a number, but a person that they genuinely wanted to help. Even though the hard part is over, I still receive calls and invitations to attend special events that the Little Red Door hosts, hence just confirming to me even more that I am now a part of their family. I would like to send a million hugs and a giant thank you to the Little Red Door organization and all that you do. I want you to know that you are amazing, and I truly appreciate all that you have done for me. And also to the donors who helped to make this happen, thanks so much for investing in such a great cause. You truly helped to change lives of those who need it the most. As I close this chapter of my book, I am excited to undergo reconstruction in a few weeks. I am slowly but surely getting on with my new normal life, but will always hold a special part in my heart for everyone at the Little Red Door who made this road a little bit easier. Thanks again for everything that was done to help me.
Wow. You know, as Tanya was speaking, I was thinking we hear the word cancer so much. And you turn on the news and you hear us talking about it almost every single day in some form or fashion, how it's affecting someone who may be well known, a new research study, a new breakthrough. And then you hear about Little Red Door. but we don't often hear about the stories behind those doors. So for John and for Tanya to share those stories, it really brings it home. What happens behind the word cancer, behind the door of so many agencies and so many people who are working tirelessly to make a difference in this fight, and this is a fight. You know, one of the longest running and most popular programs that Little Red Door has is one that I know we at Fox 59 are excited to share with each and every one of you every single year. So hopefully you've seen it, but if you haven't, that's okay. For more than 30 years, the Camp Little Red Door has been hosted and organized by this agency. If you don't know much about it, or even if you do, you are gonna love this. Check out your screens.
I really think this camp provides the kids with a sense of acceptance and a sense of normalcy. They're able to come here knowing that like someone else has been through exactly what they've been through. They don't have to worry about being different or being weird or anything like that. Like they can just completely be themselves.
I'm Audrey, and right now we're dancing. I learned about this camp from my little brother who went to Riley because he had cancer. My brother's been in remission for 3 years last month.
How does it make you feel?
Really happy, and yeah, he's happy.
I was 9 when I found out. I wasn't really scared. I was scared, but not really scared. Everyone just likes to play with me and stuff. It's just really fun.
Camp is so much fun because every year when you come, you meet kids who are going through the same thing you're going through. Camp Little Red Door is basically a second Christmas for almost everyone here. I've been coming for 11 years, and it is my second Christmas. I packed 3 days before camp even started.
I like just being here with my sister and hanging out with a lot of other people and doing fun stuff.
Camp, I think, offers them that outlet. It offers them, you know, the full focus is so much on, oh, you know, they have cancer or they're in remission from cancer, they're in the middle of treatment. I think camp offers the opposite, the escape. It offers them, you know, forget about that for a little bit, forget about the treatment, forget about your diagnosis, forget about what, you know, tomorrow may bring, and just enjoy today.
There's always that kid that doesn't want their parent to leave when they go to walk out of the house or walk out of the cabin. But I always tell them by Tuesday they're gonna wanna lock themselves in the bathroom and never go home. This is so different than home. Like you don't have your parents, you don't have your pets, but like you have your friends and you make your own family here.
It is a powerful message, and if you've ever worked with children with cancer, I know a lot of the work I've done with children who are suffering with cancer, who are overcoming that battle. A lot of times people will say, well, why do children have to get cancer? It's such a sad thing. And we may not ever understand the exact reason behind why it has to happen, but I can tell you one thing. Sometimes watching a child go through a journey like that teaches us adults about what's really important in life. It sometimes helps us to refocus on hope, on faith, on our priorities, on that resilience, and on that spirit that a little child so innocently can dig down deep, grab a hold of, and so eloquently and beautifully display. Even if they are triumphant over that fight or either if they lose the fight, that child undoubtedly will have touched someone else's life in a positive way. And if we can't understand why maybe a child has to suffer in that way, maybe we can focus on understanding how they can touch others through walking that walk and fighting through that journey in terms of kind of making us maybe take a moment and say, you know what, I can give a little bit of myself to that child or to that family or to that person who's going through that journey. Right now, I want to bring up someone who is going to kind of give us a glimpse into that and hopefully touch us in a very special and different way. You know, to round out the Camp Little Red Door story, I want to introduce to you Dustin Kenna. Dustin is a Robert T. Grand Leadership Academy participant and an 8-year camper. He has quite a story to tell, and he is going to tell us about the impact that Camp Little Red Door has had on his life. So please join me right now and welcome the handsome Mr. Dustin Kenna.
Good morning. My name is Dustin Kenna, and I'm a junior at Lebanon High School. I've been a camper at Camp Little Red Door for the past 8 years, since I was 8 years old. The first year I was eligible to go, my mom had to bribe me to go with a video game. But now, that's the last time I'll have to be bribed, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Camp Little Red Door has affected me tremendously. When I was in the first grade and diagnosed with leukemia, I felt like I was different from my classmates. I didn't understand why I had to go to the hospital, get poked with needles, and have to take medicine all the time. But when I went to camp, there were kids going through what I was going through, and I was instantly able to connect with them. There have been many campers that I've met at camp that I will never forget, and some of the friends I've made at camp extend beyond the 1 week in the summer. In addition to the campers, the counselors are pretty amazing. They always make things fun for the campers and really love their jobs. Even though they are only a few years older than I am now, I still learn from them, and they have a positive influence on me. The counselors improve their overall camp experience. As for Camp Little Red Door, there is so much to do at camp that 1 week is almost not enough time. Our days are filled with activities such as swimming in the pool, climbing the climbing towers, going to the lake, or going to the barn. And when we have downtime, we play cards in the cabin or play with the ball outside. Of course, every year the campers look forward to capture the flag with the whole camp. And then on the second to last day of the week, we have Challenge Day, which is the day when campers choose an activity to do that will challenge them. You can swim across the lake, canoe, make crafts, or pretty much anything you want to do around the camp. It's a fun day to end the week at camp. One of the special things that we have at camp is the Memory Garden. It is a garden that was started a couple years ago to honor campers that are no longer with us. It's a very solemn place where you can go to think about past memories with those campers or just reflect. And finally, another amazing part about Camp Little Red Door is the Robert T. Grand Leadership Academy. It is for campers who are 16 years and older and have attended camp at least 1 year. You get to come to camp on Friday instead of Monday, and during the weekend you participate in activities to get closer with fellow campers and learn about the important leadership qualities. Then during the week we all split up and help out with the younger campers. I really enjoy seeing the younger campers look up to me and for me being a good role model for them. In conclusion, I would like to personally thank everyone here this morning that has contributed to Little Red Door for giving me the opportunity to talk about Camp Little Red Door and giving me and countless other campers the opportunity to come to camp every year.
Dustin, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time this morning, even though it means you did have to miss school. I'm sure you're not complaining about that part. Well, our final video this morning will showcase one of the great supporters that Little Red Door has in our community. The amazing part about this story is the relationship with Little Red Door that was started more than 30 years ago when the agency assisted someone who is like many of us sitting in this room right now. So I'm not going to spoil the story, but instead I'm going to let Chris Wiley of DEEM do all the talking, so check out your screens.
This was a disease we knew nothing about, and very little was known about it. But, I mean, if not for Little Red Door, I don't know what we would have done. Hi, I'm Chris Wiley. I work for DEEM Mechanical and have worked for Gary Edwards for 24 years. I'm also a law enforcement officer in Henry County, acting as a deputy sheriff. In 1975, my older brother, Paul Wiley, was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They had found and removed 8 tumors from his neck. Another 27 were inoperable. I remember the day that my mother drove me past. We were on the way to cancer treatment. My mother and I and my brother were driving past a building, and it had a little red door, and she said, "That's the cancer agency that's helping us." And I'll never forget that building and that red door. I mean, I was 15 years old at the time, but I remember like it was yesterday, that little red door. And Little Red Door has been dear in my heart because of that. The Little Red Door helped my family. They helped navigate us and help us find the resources and the right doctors and the right treatment programs. They were there for us through the entire process. They played a big part in the reason why my brother is still here today. Just turning 56 years old, proud father of two, proud father of two sons and two grandsons, and still has a full head of hair, which I don't. I don't think people realize the work that Little Red Door does, truly behind the scenes. You'll not meet a group of people more dedicated, truthfully from the heart, who care more about what they do than the group of people that are at the Little Red Door. And anybody given the opportunity who wants to help others, truly help others, that wants to truly volunteer their time or their resources, there's not many organizations out there like the Little Red Door. He enjoys fishing, and we enjoy taking motorcycle rides together and things that we've done all along. And, you know, he's my big brother. And if it hadn't been for the Little Red Door, I truly believe I wouldn't have had all this time with him.
Thank you so much, Chris. You think about the people that are most important in your lives, and you realize the time we have with everyone in our lives is such a gift. We want right now to, as we continue with our theme, we want to thank Chris, the employees of Deem, for all of their support throughout the years. That has been, like I said, a 30-year friendship and partnership, and there's been so much accomplished during that time. So right now, I'd like to welcome Fred and Dustin back to the stage.
He's going to have to help me because I'm completely lost. There it is. So.
Many of you here today have experience with Little Red Door through volunteering, donating, or attending other Little Red Door events, but some of you are being introduced for the first time. When you came here today, most of you did not know exactly what you were asking for, what we were going to ask you for in terms of your financial support. You probably came here because a friend invited you or because you are familiar with our mission. Now that you've heard the whole Little Red Door Cancer Agency story and met some of the people who have been helped like me, it's my privilege to ask you to make a financial investment in the agency's ongoing success. This is not just an investment in Little Red Door. It truly is an investment in our community, and I believe that it is one for the most important investments that anyone can make. Now Fred is going to tell you how you can help.
Thank you, Dustin. First off, I'm going to ask the table captains not to pass out their pledge cards yet, because we have just a couple more guests that I need to. So you've already done it, haven't you? You didn't wait for me to tell you, which is what the script says you're supposed to do, is wait for me to tell you. Alas, but I know you all too well for that. We do have a couple of special guests, and before you fill your pledge card out, you need to hear from them. And first off, I want to acknowledge that we're running a little longer than we normally do. So I will beg your indulgence for just a couple more minutes while we meet a couple more special guests. First off, Byron Litton, Senior Director, Business Oncology Unit at Lilly. The folks at Lilly, there are a bunch of tables from Lilly here. You know, Lilly's an amazing philanthropic organization. Byron is a great friend of Little Red Door, one of our board members, and when we had this opportunity to talk with our friends at Lilly about this, I couldn't believe it. So it's all yours, Byron.
Hey, good morning, friends. On behalf of my many Lilly colleagues in the room, we wanted to say just how pleased we are to be here. You know, most of you in the community will know Lilly as a neuroscience organization and as a diabetes organization, but we've also been at the fight against cancer for more than 50 years in delivering innovative medicines to those patients who need them the most. And I can promise you that we're bullish around what we're going to be able to do to make a change in what this disease looks like moving forward. But as John and Tanya and Dustin shared, there's a struggle that's going on today, and we wanted to be able to join the Little Red Door in this effort to make a difference for patients today, and we wanted to challenge you a little bit as you take a look at your pledge card. So for every dollar that you give this morning, Lilly's going to match up to $65,000, and we're pleased to do that.
Okay, so you still can't pass your cards out yet because I have another great friend. I want to bring my great friend, entrepreneur, businessman, and philanthropist Wayne Zink up now. Wayne, as many of you know, is the founder of Zur Luxury Men's Skincare and Endangered Species Chocolate. He supports many great causes around town. He's been my hero on numerous occasions, and I'm delighted to have him speak to you this morning too. Thanks, Wayne.
Good morning. So I know we're running behind, and I have these notes that I'm not going to read so we can be on schedule. Betty, are you proud of me today? Yes. I will say this. Our family loves to help this community. And in making our decision in how to help, we too are much less concerned about empirics and numeric outcomes as we are about the soul and the heart of an organization. And I can tell you, in making the decision to work with Lilly this morning and with Little Red Door, the decision was made because Fred and his staff care so much about humanity. You know, we didn't ask Fred for numbers. We asked him for stories. And I think that one of the most compelling things about this organization is at a time in our history, I guess I am reading my notes, I'm sorry, but at a time in the history of our planet when we need to help each other maybe just a little bit more than during other times in the history of this planet. Little Red Door sets the bar. So we don't think that anyone should be thanking us for helping Little Red Door. We, to the contrary, are overwhelmed and humbled by the opportunity to help Little Red Door. So I hope and I pray this morning that our $65,000 matching grant will also motivate you to do the same this morning. Please dig deep. Please help this organization. Nothing could mean more. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Byron. We love both you guys. I am overwhelmed this morning. I just want to help you understand how this works. We have $65,000 on the table from Lilly and $65,000 on the table from Wayne. They'll match, each of them will match every new dollar you give us this morning for $1. So every dollar you give us this morning becomes $3. So think about that for a moment. So I want you to think about if you're typically someone who comes here and gives us $50, we're really, really grateful for you. If you continue to do that, that $50 becomes $150. If you belong to the Face of Hope Society and you're a $1,000 donor, that $1,000 gift becomes $3,000 this morning. The opportunity for us to not only meet our $300,000 goal, but to exceed it overwhelmingly exists this morning. I'm not sure we're ever going to have this opportunity again. So please, now you can have your pledge cards. So that now that you know what exciting things are going on there. Many of you have seen the card before. You know, our most important giving level is that Face of Hope Society, making a 3-year pledge of $1,000 or more. That sends 3 kids to camp. $2,500 from that circle lets us make 430 trips every year. The $5,000 level in that circle would pay for 150 mammograms here in town. please give to us this morning whatever you're comfortable in giving. We're super, super grateful for everything that we receive. Now, if you're one of those folks in the room, and the room is full of folks this morning who have a relationship with us and they make a gift and we've got an ongoing commitment. You know, this breakfast is based on a model that's really geared to bring new people in every year. We believe that it's really important for us to see our friends over and over and over again. So we love it for you to come back every year. So if you have a commitment to us, you could extend your pledge. You can just write on your pledge form, I'll extend my pledge for a year. You can increase your pledge. Increasing your pledge this morning would be the best way in which we can secure the funds from Lily and from Wayne. Please, however is comfortable for you. I'd also add that some of you at the table got an additional envelope that details what we believe your existing pledge is to us. We're pretty good record keepers, but sometimes we're wrong. If you would call Eric or myself next week, give us a little bit of space to get through this morning, that would be awesome. If we don't understand your intent with us exactly. So we're going to be closer on time than I thought. You know, one of the things that we are very proud of, we tell folks, is that we are always on time at this event. But the program this morning has been exceptional. You know, last year we were teed up for having 3 speakers as well, and one became sick and had to be taken to the hospital the morning of the program. We only ended up with 2. Okay, so I'm going to let you fill out your cards, and Dustin and I are going to finish up, and I hope to have a chance to visit with you for a moment as before we leave. Oh. Okay, so the script just ran out. So Dustin, how about you and I just simply say that we are really grateful to these folks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'd also say I'm really grateful to Dustin. You know, this is a great opportunity, we think, for kids his age. And it takes a lot of courage to get up and tell a story like the stories that our clients tell, and we're very, very grateful to them. So continue filling out your cards. Fanchon is going to finish up the program, and I will see all of you at the end. Thanks.
All right, Fred and Dustin, thank you so much. You know, as you're sitting there and you're thinking about how much to give, maybe you're wrestling with what can I do, what can't I do, there was one theme that really struck me this morning, and it's a simple thing that I think Little Red Door is an example of, a beautiful example of, and it is the responsibility that we have to treat others as we would want to be treated, to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. And if you are sitting there wondering or grappling with how much should I, shouldn't I want you to put yourself in the shoes of one of the people that we heard from today. How would you want to be treated if you were walking that journey? We all have a responsibility to do unto others, to treat others as we would want to be treated. So with that, I would like to say on behalf of the board, the staff, especially the clients of Little Red Door Cancer Agency, thank you from the bottom of our hearts so much for your time, for giving of yourselves. The mission of the agency centers on helping those in need, and we are so grateful for your generosity, your time, and the hope that you are providing today. And we do hope that you leave here and you have the most incredible day. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a beautiful day.